Write a short note on advisory board. The advisory board is constituted under section 7 of the Minimum Wages Act 1948. The board is established by the appropriate government to assist and advise it in matters relating to the fixation and revision of minimum wages. According to section 7 of the Minimum Wages Act 1948, the appropriate government shall appoint an advisory board for the following purposes. Functions of the advisory board: to coordinate the work of the committees and subcommittees appointed under Section 5 of the Minimum Wages Act 1948, to advise the appropriate government generally on matters relating to the fixation and revision of minimum rates of wages. The advisory board plays an important role in ensuring the minimum wages are fixed and revised after the considering the interests of both employers and employees. Procedure of the Advisory Board: the Act allows the Advisory Board to regulate its own procedure for performing its functions. No specific procedure has been prescribed regarding how the board should make recommendations to the government. For collecting information and studying wage related matters, the board may appoint a subcommittee from among its own members. However, such a subcommittee cannot function as a substitute for a committee or subcommittee appointed by the government under the Act. The advisory board cannot appoint a person who is not a member of the board to become a member of its subcommittee. Even if such an irregularity occurs, it does not necessarily invalidate the recommendations or reports of the advisory board. Purpose of the advisory board: the main objectives of the advisory board are to help the government in fixing fair minimum wages, to coordinate the work of committees and subcommittees, to protect the interests of workers, to maintain balance between employers and employees. Illustration: suppose the government proposes to revise the minimum wages of factory workers. The advisory board may examine the recommendations of various committees, study economic conditions, and advise the government regarding appropriate wage rates. Conclusion: thus, the Advisory Board, under Section 7 of the Minimum Wages Act 1948, acts as an advisory body that assists the appropriate government in fixing and revising minimum wages and coordinating the work of committees and subcommittees.